First off, I'm just gonna apologize now because I feel like I sound a little bit nasally just because allergies have been kicking my butt recently. I don't know what the heck is going on this year with me and allergies, but I do suffer from them. I'm not sick, but I feel like my nose is completely congested right now, and I just feel like I'm talking all nasally. But anyway, sorry, bear with me through that. But outside of that, I want to talk about this controversy that Steven Soderbergh was in an interview talking about recently. And to me, it's controversial, but I know to a lot of people it's not very controversial. But he was just talking about his canceled Star Wars project and the one he was working on, The Hunt for Ben Solo, with Adam Driver directly. And what he's talking about in this interview is simply how long it took and how they couldn't believe that it was actually canceled, and that Kathleen Kennedy surprisingly was upset that it was canceled too as well. I mean, apparently in this interview that she was actually very excited for The Hunt for Ben Solo, and that it was in development for almost 2 years by Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh and a girl named Rebecca Blunt, who was also a screenwriter. So basically it was just these three working on this script in this movie for almost 2-3 years. And all of their progress got completely axed in one night, just like that. And I really do feel for Adam Driver and Steven at this point, just because I've had a lot of experience in terms of small films and small things like that, and I've had a lot of things reach the cutting room floor. A lot of ideas that I floated out there, spent hours and time coming up with, and when it gets to the cutting room floor, everybody decides that it shouldn't be added in, and it gets completely axed, the idea is completely thrown out. Sometimes even if it's a great idea that they just want to use for later, or if they just decide that, hey, we just don't want to add this part in the movie, it's not that it's bad. I mean, heck, me and my friend one time filmed an entire little skit where we actually brought lightsabers and stuff onto set. I used my actual lightsabers, filmed this whole scene, edited it, got it completely ready to go, and then it was completely axed the next morning, and we had spent hours working on it. So we just kind of kept the scene for ourselves and decided at some point down the line we'll probably use it. But basically, a lot of things get axed. It's called the cutting room floor for a reason. Now, do I agree with Disney canceling the Hunt for Ben Solo? Absolutely not, because I feel as though this should have been a movie that explained his character so much that you don't have to actually go and read the comics. You don't have to actually go and read those things in order to get the exposition that this character deserved. Steven Soderbergh came out and talked about how it was axed before they even considered getting a budget for it, getting everything going for it. Everybody at Lucasfilm appeared to like the film itself, including Kathleen Kennedy, and Adam Driver, who's very passionate about his character, really enjoyed this film and really enjoyed at least the script for it. And I truly believe that Kylo Ren as a character, or Ben Solo, deserved a better outing than what he got, because the ending of the 9th movie, not only were the sequels bad, but the ending for the 9th movie for his character specifically was so horrible. And out of all the sequel characters, his character had the most potential to have some of the biggest impact on the overarching Star Wars story as a whole. Yet Disney and Rian Johnson completely fumbled his character, so he deserved to have a film that was actually good and highlights him in a good light. But anyway, let me get to the actual article itself and actually just read it a little bit. So it says here, Star Wars fans aren't the only ones mourning The Hunt for Ben Solo. Yeah, and honestly, if it came down to it and it was Acolyte or this movie getting greenlit and they chose Acolyte over this movie, then personally, I'm gonna ride a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna ride because, you know, what's done is done, can't really help it. But geez, man, there's no way they chose Acolyte over this. This would have been so much better. But anyway, it says, we were all frustrated, Soderbergh said, a small group that worked on a project, you know, that was 2.5 years of free work. The stuff that I worked on was literally only a couple hours of filming, maybe even a full day of filming, and it got axed. I can't imagine working on something for 2.5 freaking years. That has to be extremely frustrating. Let's go ahead and continue reading. Soderbergh added that prior to Driver revealing the project's existence in an interview last year, he warned the actor not to speculate about why the film was axed and merely share the little information that they were given. This is typically how it goes too. They don't really tell you exactly why. They just kind of just say, hey, this is why we think this is, and you just have to move on and just forget about it. He goes on to say that he says, look, do not editorialize or speculate about the why, just say what happened because all we know is what happened. And the stated reason that Disney gave them is that they don't think that Ben Solo could actually be alive. Yeah, so they said that they're working on this for 2.5 years. I guarantee you that they canceled it and they gave a crap explanation like that just because they didn't want to allocate money and resources towards this. Disney probably saw the inflated cost of all the movies that were coming out, the TV shows, and decided to just say, hey, we're going to go ahead and cancel this just because they decided to greenlight Acolyte. And Acolyte cost $22 to $31 million per episode. That's around $230 million for an 8-episode series that was a complete complete and total flop and divided the fan base even further. But I'm not here to talk about Acolyte. What I'm going to say here is that Disney really does need to pick and choose their battles. I mean, this is a character that they created. This is a Disney original Star Wars character. And the pure fact that they didn't want to work on this character anymore and just kind of want to just have his story end where it ended is kind of just, it's really stupid to me. And for me, myself, someone who really doesn't like the sequels that much, for me to advocate for Kylo Ren so much kind of shows you just that they actually had a good character on their hands, but they just wrote him completely wrong and they completely just throw him to the wayside and rushed his ending. And Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo as a whole, did not get the ending that he deserved at the end of that film. It was completely rushed, mishandled, and yada yada yada. I've talked about this ad nauseum in the past videos. It was just done so distastefully. My goodness, I can only imagine what Adam Driver's feeling, because this is frustrating to me. Especially since it definitely seemed as though everybody, or at least the way Steven Soderbergh explains it, everybody was on board for this. Everybody at Lucasfilm loved it. Even Kathleen Kennedy thought it would be pretty good, but ultimately Disney decided to just go ahead and axe it. The good thing is that it could always be brought back. Hopefully that Disney sees the outrage from this. Hopefully Disney sees the fan reaction, decides to just go ahead and reinstate this movie and get it going. Because in terms of what we got out of the sequel trilogy, this will easily be the best. Not only would this give closure to Kylo Ren's character, it would also give closure to fans, it would also give closure to everybody who was invested in this, and give Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren, the ending that he truly deserved as being one of the highest potential characters in the sequel trilogy itself. And I will say it again, the sequels were not good, or at least I didn't think that they were good whatsoever, but I would be heavily invested in this, definitely way more than Acolyte. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. May the force be with you, and as always, have a great rest of your day.